Okay, I'm in the first set of practice problems, and I'm going to do some of these starting with 11. But just to remind you, when you're doing proofs, you should be using the textbook and you should be looking at these rules. Conjunction lim, disjunction lim, disjunction intro, so on and so forth. So you should have the chapter there in front of you. Okay, so we will begin by using conjunction elimination to first put Q and P on line 2. Then I'm going to take the R wedge, not P, put it on line 3. Conjunction elim, line 1. And the same again, conjunction elim, line 1. Okay, next we can use conjunction elim again on the sentence on line 2. We can bring the Q down and put it on line 4, and the P and put it on line 5, although we don't really need that Q, so I'm just going to bring the P down. But if you happen to bring the Q down, that would be fine also. Conjunction elim, line 2. Okay, now we want to get this R on a line by itself. Here we have R wedge, not P. And on line 4 we have P. So this is a scenario where we need to use the double negation rule. So we're going to take this P on line 4, put 2 knots in front of it, DN4, and now we're able to use the disjunction elimination rule. With just R wedge, not P, and P on line 4, we can't use disjunction elim. Now that we have not P, however, we can do disjunction elim. Bring the R down. Wedge elim, lines 3 and 5. Okay, let's go here and look at the difference between when we don't need to use the double negation rule, that's on the left, and when we do need to use the double negation rule, which is sketched out here on the right. So if we happen to have something with the form A wedge B on one line, and then on another line we have either the A part or the B part with a knot in front of it, in this case the B part with a knot in front of it, then we're good to go. We can use disjunction elim. In this case we can take the A part and put it on a new line. Now if instead we have A wedge, not B, and then on another line we have, say, B, then we can't quite yet use the disjunction elimination rule. We have all the right parts, but they're not in the right form. So what we need to do is take this B, turn it into not B, which we can do, of course, with the double negation rule. Now we have what comes after the wedge, this not B here, with a knot in front of it. So now everything has the right form. We can use disjunction elim to take the A part of our disjunction and put it on a new line. Okay. All right, so we want to begin by doing conjunction elimination. We only actually need to do it once, but I'll do it twice. Which you can do if you're stuck and you just want to see what you're going to end up with if you do it twice. Okay, so now we want W, and we have a W here in our conditional on line 1. So let's have a look at the conditional elimination rule. So to use this rule, we need to have a conditional, something with the form A arrow B, and then on another line we need to have the A part. It doesn't have to be on the next line, just somewhere we need to have the A part. If we have these two sentences on two separate lines, then on a new line we can put the B part. Okay, so here we have our conditional. The A part is our Q, and the B part is the W. So do we have the A part on a line by itself anywhere in our proof? Yes, we have it here on line 4. So therefore we can do conditional elimination and take the B part, the W, and put it on line 5. Arrow elim 1, 4. Okay, now again on line 1 we have a conditional. The main logical operator is this arrow right here. So the A part is the W. Let's just take a quick look at the rule again. We have A arrow B on one line and then the A part on another line. So in this case our B part is Q and P. We have the A part here on line 2, so we can take the B part, this entire Q and P inside the parentheses, and put it on line 3. Arrow elim 1, 2, and now we just want to take the P using conjunction elim on line 3. Okay, so we have 3 premises. So again, conditional elimination rule. We need to have this and this. Okay, so if we want to do conditional elim with this sentence on line 1 is a conditional. The main logical operator is the arrow here. Then we need to have the A part, which is P and W, on a line by itself. So we don't have that right now, but maybe you can see that we can get it by using the conjunction introduction rule to put the W and the P on lines 2 and 3 together. So conjunction elim 2, 3, and they need to be in this exact order to match the antecedent of our conditional here on line 1. Okay, so now we do have the A part on its own line, so we can take the B part of our conditional and put it on line 5. Arrow elim 1, 4. Oops, I made a mistake here. Okay, conjunction intro there on line 4, and we're done. Okay, so again we have 3 premises, and we want to get W. Okay, so here line 1 is the disjunction, P or not Q. On line 3 we have not P, so we can take the B part of our disjunction, the not Q, put it on line 4, wedge elim 1, 3. Now that we have not Q on line 4, that's the A part of our conditional that's on line 2, we can take the W and put it on line 5. arrow elim, 2, 4. Okay, and then let me do this one as well. Okay, so that is not outside the parentheses, Q wedge W or Y. And the main logical operator is this wedge right here. And we also have a Q as our second premise. Okay, so how are we going to get Y on a line by itself? So for this one, we need to plan out what we're doing a little bit. So as we just said, on line 1, we have a disjunction. This wedge here is the main logical operator. And so if we want to use the disjunction elimination rule, we need to have this, the A part, not Q or W. We need to have this with a not in front of it on a line by itself. And so this whole thing with a not in front of it is going to be not, then in parentheses, Q wedge W. Okay, so we know that we can get something that has the form not A, let's say, by using the double negation rule. So that part's taken care of. We just need to figure out how we can get Q wedge W on a line by itself. Well, we have a Q here, so we can use disjunction intro to get Q wedge W, and now we can take this Q wedge W, put it in parentheses, and add 2 knots. Okay, so that's going to be DN3. So now we have what's before the wedge on line 1 with a knot in front of it. So therefore we can use the disjunction elimination rule and bring down, in this case, what comes after the wedge, put it on line 5. Wedge elim 1, 4. Okay.